I never set out to be anybody's hero. If you know me, you'd laugh at the thought. I'm the type of person who forgets where I left my keys, who procrastinates on laundry until there's literally nothing left to. Who once tripped walking up the stairs in public and pretended it was part of a dance move. I'm not exactly the candidate for some dramatic, heroic moment. And yet somehow, one random afternoon, I ended up in the middle of something that felt ripped straight from a movie. The kind of moment where people look at you differently after. Like you've been hiding courage in your back pocket this whole time. Even though you know the truth, you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, doing the first thing that came to mind. It started like any other lazy day. I was dragging my feet through errands I didn't want to do. The grocery store, the post office, stuff like that. The kind of day where everything feels unnecessarily slow, and you just want to get home. I remember checking my phone as I walked across the parking lot, debating whether to grab a snack before heading back. That's when I heard it. A sound sharp enough to cut through the dull noise of traffic and shopping carts. At first, I thought I imagined it. Maybe just a kid messing around, or someone dropping something heavy. But then it came again, louder, panicked. My head snapped toward it, and I saw chaos unraveling near the entrance. A man was yanking at someone's purse, pulling so hard the strap looked like it might snap. And the woman holding it, clearly terrified, was struggling just to stay on her feet. People around froze. Some gasped. Some took a step back. Some reached for their phones, but nobody moved forward. And then, for some ridiculous reason, I did. I wish I could say I thought it through, that I had some noble speech running through my head, that I was motivated by courage. But the truth, my body moved before my brain had time to catch up. I bolted toward them, my grocery bag bouncing against my leg, my heart hammering so loud it drowned out everything else. The guy must have seen me coming, because he yanked harder, shoving the woman to the side. In that split second, I had no plan. No strategy. I just threw the only thing I had in my hand, a ka, which of course was a bag of frozen peas. I kid you not, I launched those peas like my life depended on it, and by some miracle lore, maybe dumb luck they, smacked the guy right in the side of the head. He staggered, surprised, dropping the purse just enough for the woman to snatch it back. She stumbled away, and suddenly all eyes were on me. I froze. The guy turned, furious, and for a second, I thought, well, this is it. This is how I go down, taken out in a parking lot, all because of frozen vegetables. But before he could do anything, another voice cut through the chaos. Someone yelled, "Drop it! The cops are coming!" I don't know if they really were, but the guy didn't stick around to find out. He bolted across the lot and disappeared between the cars. And just like that, it was over. My heart was still in my throat, my hands were shaking, and I couldn't believe what had just happened. People started clapping, like I'd just performed on a stage or something. The woman kept thanking me over and over, calling me brave, asking my name. Brave. That word didn't sit right. Because inside, I didn't feel brave, felt lucky. Lucky that the peas had hit their mark. Lucky the guy didn't come after me. Lucky it was over before I had to figure out what to actually do. But of course, that didn't matter to anyone else. In their eyes, I was a hero. The guy who stopped a purse snatcher. By the time the cops really did show up, people had already exaggerated the story. Suddenly, I had tackled the thief or chased him down. Nobody mentioned the peas, which, let's be real, was the funniest part. And here's where it got awkward. Once word spread, I couldn't escape it. Friends called me Superman. Coworkers joked about me joining the Avengers. Even strangers who de-bend at the scene recognized me days later and wanted to retell the story like I was in T standing right there. And while part of me enjoyed the attention, another part hated how blown out of proportion it got. I wasn't a superhero. I wasn't fearless. I was just me. But the story didn't stop following me. Weeks later, a local paper actually ran a tiny piece on it. Not front page, but still there, with this headline that made me sound way cooler than I was. And that's when it hit me sometimes. Being a hero doesn't mean saving the world. Sometimes it's just being the one person who does something when everyone else freezes. Even if it's stupid, even if it's messy, even if it involves peas. Looking back, I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't moved. If I'd been like everyone else, just standing there, phone in hand, waiting for someone else to step up. Would that woman have been hurt? Would the guy have gotten away? It's scary to think about. But what's scarier is how close I came to doing nothing at all. And maybe that's why people latched onto it. Because it's not really about me, it's about the fact that sometimes in life, you get shoved into situations where you don't have time to think, and your instinct is all you've got. Mine just happened to be throwing frozen food. Yours might be something else. But the point is, you never know what you're capable of until you're in that moment. Now, do I think of myself as a hero? No. Do I still laugh every time I walk past the frozen food aisle? Absolutely. But it taught me something. It taught me that ordinary people like me who can't even remember to water their plants, can still make a difference when it counts. And maybe that all being a hero really is being willing to act when nobody else does. Even if you don't feel ready, even if you don't feel brave. So yeah, that's the story of how I became an accidental hero. Not because I wanted to be, not because I trained for it, but because life threw me into a moment where I had no choice but to react. And somehow, that reaction ended up mattering. Now I want to throw the question back to you. Have you ever had a moment where you surprised yourself by stepping up? A time where you thought you'd freeze, but instead, you acted? Drop your story in the comments, because I'd love to hear how many accidental heroes are out there. And if this made you laugh, or think, or just picture me hurling peas across a parking lot, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more, and stick around, because trust me, the next story is even wilder.